Hello and welcome back to the Glassgirls network with me, Jonathan. We've got Kieran with us doing a match reaction from last night. First of all, Kieran, thanks for joining me on your Monday night.
No problem, no problem.
Just want to talk a little bit about yesterday's game, really. So we went in there with a lot of hope, didn't we? Mainly because Derby was on the way down. They've had a bit of a bad start to the season. We had 2 wins before going into that game, and we were really up for it, wasn't we? A lot of positive vibes. What happened?
I mean, it's tough to say what went wrong. I think at the moment, I think honestly we lost it from a few moments of lapsing in concentration. It was we played brilliantly for 35-40 minutes in that first half, and Derby didn't really look like having a sniff. But then sort of towards the start, the end of the first half. They hit two goals as well that on another day, if we're a bit more switched on, probably don't happen. It's and then at the end things happen, emotions probably get the better of some of the players, and we go on to concede another as well. So I mean, especially that first like I say, first 35-40 minutes, I think we can be proud of that, and we can learn a lot from that. But I think especially the second half left sort of a lot to be desired from us, really.
Yeah, you was at the game, I wasn't, so I was going to ask you a couple of questions on them chances, because from what I'm hearing from several people, we did actually have chances, and I guess that's kind of what you were saying in that first half. What kind of chances, what kind of happened? Because it is actually nice to see us get chances against some of these bigger clubs, because it has been awkward. We have lacked goals, and again we've lacked goals on Sunday, but it's still nice that we're actually getting into positions where we've got chances.
Yeah, I think it's probably the most amount of chances we've created against a top, a side that isn't in this bottom 4 part of the table. So I think there's just that last bit missing at the moment. We seem to be creating the chances. Jess Hood had a good game for me, like she did at Telford. Really energetic and skillful down that side. Daisy as well, and then your players like Rosie Axton and Gwen in the midfield, sort of spraying them balls as well. And we're just needing someone there to actually finish them, because we are making those chances. And unfortunately, if you don't take them, then good teams will always punish you, and I think that's what happened. We didn't really test the keeper. She hasn't really had a massive amount to do. A couple of balls just straight at her, but again, like on another day, those could easily find the back of the net if they're put slightly differently. But I think it's definitely not an area of concern, but somewhere where we need to have a bit more focus at the moment. I think just general finishing.
Yeah, it does definitely feel like that we're moving forward, and with the players that have come in, who we could speak about shortly, it does feel that we are getting somewhere. We're not actually quite there yet, but it does feel like that we are moving forward, and you can see that the way it's going from like the opening few games of the season. Let's talk about some of these new signings. There's obviously Demi Walker and Rosie Axton have had a few games with us now. How do you think that they've all settled in?
Yeah, I really like them both, to be fair. I really like them. Demi is a hard-working midfielder who's got a great pass on her as well. She's sort of playing a lot deeper than whoever's paired next to her. It's often Gwen or Phoebe Hill, one of those two there. She contrasts them well, because those two players are quite creative, whereas Demi is getting stuck in and hopefully winning us the ball back and progressing it forward a bit more. I think she's done really, really well. She did amazingly, I thought, on her debut. And Telford did really, really well as well. And then Rosie Axton as well, playing slightly a different position than I imagined her when she first came in. Obviously, we thought she might play as that number 9 striker, but she's actually playing as the 10, like sort of in the gap between the midfield and the attack. But again, I think she's done really well there. Obviously, grabbing, I think, 2 goals at Telford. Doing really well. You can see her quality, and quite a physical girl as well. Knows how to hold her own in the midfield. Like I say, I think it would be potentially quite nice to see her slightly further forward. She's got that experience of goal scoring in the league. So to see her in and around those dangerous positions a slight bit more, I think might be quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And two players that got announced last week before the game, Catherine Pagan and Darcy Cartwright, both came on as a second half substitute. Did you get a chance to see much of those?
Yeah, honestly, not really. It was a tough game for them to get involved in. Obviously, chasing a 2-0 lead at that point. Yeah, you know, but from what I did see, Darcy looks like a very energetic right winger, a bit of pace on her. So you know, hopefully can perform and add something to our dynamic going forward as well. And Catherine Pagan, we know all about her, so you know, a top quality name in the area. And potentially she is that person that slots in up front and gives us, I guess, what we needed. But yes, yet to be seen, I suppose.
Stay tuned for the next video where we'll talk a little bit about potentially what could happen there going forward. Let's talk about going forward. Just going into the next month then, obviously. Had a bad result against Derby, but we have got a couple of games coming up. Kitty will speak in a bit more detail, but we are down to play Burnley 1st of December. That might change now. That might be the rearranged fixture of Wolves instead. What can you see going into there now? And also with now Javier Grimshaw, chance for obviously our backup goalkeeper to get some game time as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't get easier whichever way you want to look at it, does it? Wolves or Burnley.
Wolves top of the league as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's not going to be a very fun December, I wouldn't imagine. But obviously going to Burnley and Wolves coming down to us as well. You know, anything could happen, but as we've seen previously, these top sides are really tough to play against. So yeah, I'm not expecting much at all. But yeah, if we can, you know, perform like we did in the first opening minutes of Derby, you know, potentially. And we saw Burnley when we played them at Stourport. It took them a while to really break us down. We actually went into that half time 1-0 up. So you know, potentially that could be something that we work upon there. But obviously Wolves, we know all about the quality they have, so that's going to be a very tough one, I think.
Absolutely. I think for us it's just about making sure that we go into Christmas still above Khalsa, and that's probably going to come down to the goal average. So we just need to be mindful of how many goals we are leaking. I think we're 5 to the good over Khalsa at the moment. Khalsa's got Halifax to play on December the 1st, so that's a game that you'd expect Khalsa to win. However, a game that they are capable of winning. So if we play Wolves or Burnley on that weekend, that's going to be very tough, isn't it? We're going to be looking at them fixtures too. But so far so good, as we keep on saying, we are still tense, so let's just stick in there. And yeah, thanks for joining me, Kieran, and stay tuned. We are going to do a bit of a Kiddie Minutes of Harriers preview, FA Cup, shortly, so that'll be on the YouTube very soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. Thanks, Kieran.
No problem, let's smash the Harriers, come on.